no matter how productive you are or how motivated you are to do certain things, there are always tasks that you hate doing or you're procrastinating to do, right? So today we're going to be speaking about the 5-minute rule to beat procrastination. Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Praveen Ramesh and I summarize non-fiction books and I also speak about lessons that I'm personally implementing from these books so that, I could benefit from it, and by narrating it, you could benefit from it. So, as I told at the intro, we're going to be speaking about the 5-minute rule to beat procrastination. But before we get started, it's important to kind of understand why we procrastinate, right? Because there are things that we love doing, there are things that we hate doing. Let's say writing YouTube scripts, right? So I love speaking in front of the camera, but for me, the biggest resistant activity is going to be writing these YouTube scripts, right? Because I feel I can just, smash it in front of the camera only to realize that I switch on the camera, it's rolling, and I suddenly forget what to speak. So it's important that I write these scripts. I know that it's important. I know it's one of the most uncomfortable tasks for me, and it's something that I need to do, but I'm not doing as much as I should be, right? So here is what happens when you want to do something that you're not doing, right? So your body and the mind immediately goes into a conflict, right? So there's an emotional side of the brain that doesn't want to do this task, whereas there is a rational side of the brain that kind of understands the implications of doing the right thing, right? So in my case, let's say if you take the example of writing a script, I know that it's uncomfortable and I don't want to be doing that. So the emotional part of my brain is saying, hey, you know what, let's not do it, let's do something more comfortable, because my the creative side of the brain is seeking for more comfort. So I'm probably scrolling through YouTube videos looking for inspirations, or I'm just saying, okay, you know what, I can just nail it, because that's the comforting aspect of things. Whereas the rational side of the brain is saying, hey, you know what, you speak much better when there is a script in front of you, or things are much clearer and you exactly know your talking points when there is a script beside you, which is what I have here, right? So it is this conflict that leads to procrastination, and since our human brains are kind of tuned for comfort and familiarity, we end up procrastinating and not doing the thing. Now replicate this to any task that you want to do, right? You might be knowing what is the right thing to do, but your brain is always seeking for comfort. So the next time you think about, hey, why am I procrastinating? Just try and see, okay, are you seeking comfort or are you seeking to do the right thing? So that's why we procrastinate, right? Because we get into this comfortable zone and we don't want to be doing what is right or what is rational. So now that we know why we procrastinate, hey, how do we overcome it? There have been tons of techniques that have been told, okay, why should you not procrastinate? Why you should stay motivated and things like that. But here is the thing, right? Procrastination is mind and body's defense to not do something that you're uncomfortable doing. So what I've realized of late is, trick my brain or tell myself that, hey, I'm going to be doing this only for the next 5 minutes. So I switch on a timer on my phone or on the laptop to say, okay, you know what, I'll write script for 5 minutes, and then at the end of 5 minutes, I'm going to tell myself that I'll close the laptop, I won't write any scripts. Right? So, and then what usually happens more often than not is I end up writing this for more than 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, right? So at the end of 15 minutes, even though the alarm goes off at the end of 5 minutes, I would have written the script for 15 minutes because of, kind of started, I'm already in the flow at the end of 5 minutes, and then 15 minutes, boom, I have a script. And then I close my laptop and I say, okay, you know what, for the next 2 days, I'm not writing any scripts. To kind of summarize, to do things that you really hate doing, switch off all your notifications, kind of be away from your phone, set a timer for 5 minutes. I've ordered a physical timer, so probably once it's here, I'll, make a separate YouTube video on that. But you know what, I switch on the timer on my laptop by switching off all notifications, work on that singular task that I've been procrastinating for 5 minutes, and then more often than not, I'm into the flow. If I'm not in the flow, I stop at the end of 5 minutes, right? Maybe I pick up another 5-minute chunk later in the day to complete the task that I didn't complete in the first 5-minute chunk. But more often than not, I get into the flow, I work for 20-25 minutes, and then boom, I've completed the thing that I've been postponing for a very, very long time. So if you found this video helpful, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is Praveen Ramesh signing off.